About the interviews right now, and you have taken many interviews since you keep on going at IIM Bangalore, SPJain, and right now at Alliance as well. You've been the pro vice chancellor. What are the few things as a B school once they are sitting in the interviews of some of them have given IIMs interviews, some of them given SPJain interviews, some of them going to give Alliance interviews as well. What are the few things you have a checklist like? I'm going to be asking this question, say example, and or any of your friends of IIM Bangalore or SPJain or at Alliance, they ask this question and say like, ये पांच चीज़ें हैं या three things है, ये अगर student में है, he's going to be a rock star. Any kind of checklist if you can give us, that's going to be.
Okay, I'm just trying to put my camera on, just
Okay.
hanging a bit, but I hope you guys can hear me at least.
Yeah, we can hear you fine. I mean, we can hear you. Just, I mean, it's the next to your name button. There'll be a small.
Yeah,
icon.
I know.
Yeah.
Just my name button. Yeah, it's just the camera is not, coming on. Just stuck there.
It's just stuck. Okay. ठीक है. Should we do without the camera? Are you okay?
I'm good with that.
I got a
Yep.
picture. I got a picture up there, so we're gonna have fun.
Okay. So I
All
guess
right,
it'll
boys
come
and
up here.
girls, please welcome Racer. Racer is a visiting faculty at IIM Bangalore, SPJain Global. He keeps traveling. He loves to travel. Sir is writing a book. Amazing insan hai ye. And I've met him a couple of times in my life. And today we're gonna have a lot of fun. Just write a quick welcome, sir. They're all welcoming you in the chat as well. And sir is,
Hey, guys.
I would say, sir is a god of marketing when he start teaching marketing. By the way, he's a professor at Alliance University right now, and he was the pro vice chancellor also at the university, which is one of the first private universities of South India. So उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. ठीक है, sir. Let's begin. Sir,
Sure.
quick things, please. Oh, we can see you, sir, as well. We can see you. Great. Lovely seeing
Great,
you, sir.
yeah.
Lovely
Yeah,
seeing you.
yeah.
Sir, tell us a little bit more about you. What you've been doing at these international places. You've been going to in India. I'm Bangalore as well, and SPJain Global. How are things, and what made you keep traveling? And also, you've done your MBA from Belgium.
Right. So yeah, in fact, academia, I moved into academia after having spent 10 years in the industry. So I worked with different companies in India and abroad. In India, I worked for the Taj Group, for Coffee Day. Abroad, I worked for a company called Landmark, etc. So as part of my industrial life too, I've been abroad. Once I got into academia, the traveling that I do was, to teach courses at these places. For example, at SPJain, I taught consumer behavior as a course. At the Asian Institute of Technology, I was part of what is called their extension center, where they do a lot of courses and workshops for executive, students, for companies, etc. So I used to do a lot of work in the area of strategy and marketing. And they had a lot of clients, executive students who would come from different parts of the world. So, for example, I did workshops on marketing strategy for companies like Tashi, Telecom, Bhutan Telecom, etc.
Wow.
So yeah, I think it's a lot of fun doing all of this because academia cannot be disconnected from the rigors of the industry, right?
Yeah.
So what you learn needs to be applied. That's what you bring into the classroom. So it's been a lot of fun doing all of this. Yeah.
क्या बात है, क्या बात. This is so amazing, yeah. Sir, you've been a marketing guru and you've done a lot of work on the marketing side. Now you're working on technology, software as a service, product management. I want to ask you this question. Like, people are always confused in life. Is MBA in marketing fit for me? People on the chat, anybody wants to get into marketing, just type in mark. And sir se bhi sun lete hain. And a lot of people keep on coming back to me and keep on asking me, sir, I was meant for finance, but when I joined the B school and then I changed my ways toward marketing. What's your quick thing? Just type in marketing or mark. Okay, anybody wants to go to fin, you can type in fin. Sir, yeah, what do you think? Why should they choose marketing, and who is the perfect fit for marketing?
Okay, so why should you choose marketing? Once Drucker said that there are only two functions in an organization. One is innovation and the other one's marketing. So innovation is what builds, differentiated cutting edge value for customers. Marketing is what then delivers that value to customers and makes it profitable for a company in that process. So the marketing function is an exciting function. It's a front-facing function, right? And if there's one function that has been driven by technology, it is marketing, right at the front end. So it's an exciting place to be in. And another reason as to why I call it exciting is because it's a dynamic function, right? It's not a static function. It always keeps changing. Like, for example, look at a SaaS product. today there are SaaS products that are marketed completely using a self-service model, right? So you bring the customer down the marketing funnel completely via a digital platform and get the customer to adopt the product, which is the acquisition part of marketing, and then activate the product, then retain customers and monetize the product, etc. So what am I trying to say? Listen, guys, it's an exciting area to be in. There are a lot of challenges every day, and I don't mean that just for the sake of it. Every day is truly exciting. Whether it's a digital product or a physical product, that's an exciting place to be in. So if you want to be challenged and if you want to grow, and if you want to, if you're the kind of person who say, I want to get up in the morning and I want to go to work, I think marketing is a function that you need to be in.
Super.
So the question is to who is a perfect fit for marketing? Listen, I mean, there are a lot of skills required that will make you a great fit for marketing. The primary ones are marketing. There are two key elements to marketing. One is messaging and the other one is managing channels. So the messaging element of marketing requires you to be a great communicator. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that if you're, let's say, an introvert, you're not great for marketing. You're great for marketing if you're great at communication, whether it's verbal, whether it's written, whether it's content creation, etc. That's a key requirement. Second, when you manage channels, you're essentially managing channel partners, you're managing logistical movements, etc. So are you a people person? Are you somebody who can solve, conflicts? Are you somebody who can negotiate well? Are you a problem solver? And can you do that creatively? You see, these are certain characteristics. Being somebody who's people driven, somebody who can negotiate, somebody who can be persistent, somebody who's got a never say die kind of a spirit, somebody who's a problem solver, great communicator. If you are inherently inclined towards these arenas or skill arenas, marketing is a great place for you. And like I said, every day is going to be challenging, and so it's a lot of excitement. Yeah.
Superb. I want to ask you one question, sir. When people think marketing, they are sometimes forced into sales, or they say like, I don't want to do sales. I'm not going to be like one who's going to be pressing the bell, ting tong, sir, ye Dettol sabun le lijiye. They all think, and I keep telling them like, sales is like the first and foremost thing what everyone should do. And anybody who's in the chat, have you thought about that? Are you guys afraid of sales? Yeah, sales nahi karna hai, or hate sales? Just type in hate, or hate. Okay, they're all saying me. Sir, hate. All right, and they want to be marketeers. So what's your take on that?
I want to tell them, because you hate it is why you should do it. I don't know whether you guys watch Batman. Batman is my favorite, superhero. I want to ask you, Rahul, do you know why Batman is different from all superheroes? Do you know why he's different?
Tough one, sir. Though I have a T-shirt of Batman.
You can ask people online. Do you guys know as to why he's different? That makes him singular, amongst all the other superheroes. So because we have very less time, let me tell you, his morals and his ethics. Yeah, okay, great. Batman is the only superhero who does not have a superpower. You see, he's just human, right? All the other guys have got powers. Somebody can, Spider-Man can spin the web, Superman can fly, Batman, he's human. And as a child, the one thing that he feared was bats. And he became that fear. And that's why he took on the form of Batman. It's a fascinating story. Wow. You see, you've got to face your fears. Because if you're not going to face that fear of selling, and if you're going to run all your life. Probably, 5 years later, you're going to be running for something else. See, that's not the way you look at life, whether it's your personal life, your social life, your professional life. So to everyone who says, listen, I don't like sales, I'm worried about sales, I worry about sales, that's where you need to step into. Super. That's the pool you need to submerge yourself in. Right. You see, marketing is out there. Marketing is not inside this is not an ivory tower that you can sit in and click some buttons and everything happens. Marketing is out there because customers are out there. And so that's the first fundamental rule of marketing, that everything that you do pivots around your understanding of the customer. And your ability to go out there and get a value proposition to be accepted by the customer requires you to engage with that customer. Listen, this is not about ting, door opens and you're trying to sell something. The era of selling is over. Marketing fundamentally says we create value for customers, right? So you got to be in the marketplace. You got to do research. You got to understand them. You got to manage channels. You got to talk to customers, whether it's a retail store, whether you're doing this online, but you got to connect with customers. Sure. And sales is the end in the end all of marketing, because that's what generates revenues. So to all those people who say, listen, I'm scared, listen, you got to be Batman. You got to go out there and, face that fear of bats so much so that you become the bat, you see?
This is so
That's
amazing,
my
so
recommendation.
so inspiring, sir. I never knew the Batman story. Thanks for that. I also take my notes, by the way, whenever people like you come on board. So by and people who don't know, boys and girls, if you want to go in the world's number one brand, Coca-Cola, and you want to work in there, first 2 years of your life, you're going to be sitting inside a truck, and they're going to be making you sit next to the driver and you're moving around. You want to work in HUL, that's going to be the same case. You'll
That's
go
right.
to Nestle. They're going to be. Am I right, sir? Nestle, Maggie,
That's right. You want to work for Colgate Palmolive and you're in Karnataka, they will send you to the hinterlands of Karnataka.
Yeah.
And they'll ask you to sell those products to channel partners, which includes the last mile retailer too. That's your forging by fire kind of experience. You come out of that, you're unbeatable, you see, because you're taken on the rigors of the industry. That's how HUL trains you. That's how Coca-Cola trains you. That's how Colgate Palmolive trains you. That's how Johnson & Johnson trains you.
Super.
Nestle trains you. You bet. That's exactly what's in store. Yeah.
That's amazing. So boys and girls, big. They're already saying challenge accepted. Great. So go inside. People who are getting into marketing, look for a sales role. Digital marketing हम बाद में भी कर लेंगे. Look for a sales role and in a great company, learn how things work and be the last mile closer. Who's going to get the cash, who's going to get the check, and you're going to respect it like crazy. So amazing. Sir, my next question is an interesting one. I've got two questions, but I think I'm going to stick to this one only. And in interest of time, quickly, they're all going to go to the interviews right now, and you have taken many interviews since you keep on going at IIM Bangalore, SPJain, and right now at Alliance as well. You've been the Pro Vice Chancellor. What are the few things as a B school, once they are sitting in the interviews of, some of them have given IIMs interviews, some of them given SPJain interviews, some of them are going to give Alliance interviews as well. What are the few things you have a checklist, like I am going to be asking this question, say example, and or any of your friends of IIM Bangalore or SPJain or at Alliance, they ask this question and say like, ये 5 चीज़ें हैं या 3 things है, ये अगर student में है, he's going to be a rock star. Any kind of checklist if you can give us, that's going to be really amazing.
Right. So for me, every time I take these interviews, my goal is to try and understand who you are. So I want to know as to how self-aware are you. Yeah, which is why the question like, tell me some of your strengths and tell me your strengths and weaknesses comes up, because it's a question that helps me understand as to whether you are aware of your own self and what have you done with that awareness. So that's like one of the key elements in an interview. Do you know yourself, and have you managed yourself because you know yourself? And so when anybody asks you strengths and weaknesses, in sequence, I think you should start with weaknesses and then end on a positive note and tell your strengths. And this has to be an articulation that's a reflection of your own awareness about yourself and about how you manage yourself, right? So that's one part of the story. The second part is, okay, now that you're aware and you manage yourself, are you impressing upon me your ability to take on the rigors of a B school and the rigors that await you outside of a B school? Now, here is where it's a combination of aptitude and attitude, right? Do you have the aptitude to take on these rigors? Take those courses, do those courses really well, do your assignment, because you don't have time. It's an extremely stressful journey. And out of all the semesters, I'd say the toughest one is the first semester. Most people learn out of the first semester. So I'm looking at the kind of aptitude that you have and the kind of attitude that you have for the rigors that await you in the B school and the rigors that await you outside.
Super.
And so that's the next element so the questions that I would ask, are in that particular territory. And finally, I would move into a territory where I want to know from you, what is the future that you see for yourself? What's that picture that you have painted for yourself down the line? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? And how do you intend to get there? Now, the believability of your answer depends on how you've done the first part and the second part. Are you self-aware? And can you manage, and based on that self-awareness, can you manage yourself? Number 2, do you have the aptitude and the attitude to take on the rigors? If you have, then I'm sure down the line, what is that drives you? What is that makes you want to take that job? What is it that you want to achieve? What is the picture that you see ahead of you? So these are 3 broad areas, and questions pertaining to these areas are what I generally ask, students in interviews.
Superb, superb. This is so amazing. So, boys and girls, a quick check. Matlab, this is a checklist you've given to me when I'm going to ask these people. First of all, is self-awareness of you as a person. कि तू भाई कैसा इंसान है, तेरी strength, weakness तेरे को पता है. And you have an aptitude or an attitude to actually listen to the next question as well. And the next question is, what's your goal? What do you want to do in life? If you don't have a goal, mark it up. So, sir, this is a checklist for any interview panelist. I think they're asking some random questions. You should do a session on other panelists as well. I was listening to some interviews of IIMs right now, and sorry to say, but those are not the type of questions the panelists should be asking. Great, sir. Great, sir. Sir, any
Right.
thoughts on strength and weaknesses you want to tell them? Like this is the question which you also insinuated, and this is one question which all the colleges ask right now. So anything you want to tell them?
Absolutely. Everybody, it's a standard question. That's right. That's right. I would always tell you to sequence it: weaknesses first, strengths next. So you want to end on a positive note, right? That's how you should sequence it. And when you state your weaknesses, remember, I want to know, whether you are aware of challenges that you have about your own self. So, for example, you say something like, I tend to procrastinate, right? However, I've now ensured that I have a journal in place that ensures that I don't miss out on things that I'm supposed to do. And I go back to the journal over and over again to ensure that I'm not procrastinating. So you're stating that you're a procrastinator. Or you say, I have this tendency to move, to fly off the handle because I'm extremely curious and I want to, I suspend thinking at times and jump into the act element. I do before I think. I'm again trying to manage that by looking at situations that are challenging to me and how I've reacted to that, and I sit and reflect on it, etc. Long and short, what am I trying to say? You are, and I would recommend nobody lie in this question. You have done an analysis of yourself, and you say these are two challenging areas, and you present that to the panel and say, listen, these are challenges that I'm dealing with, and this is how I'm dealing with these challenges, which are weaknesses currently with me. And then you move into the positive territory. And in that positive territory, for example, you would say that, listen, I'm a natural leader. Leadership comes naturally to me. But then back it up with evidence to why you're saying you're a natural leader. So while I was in college, whether it was positions inside the classroom or positions that I took on, responsibilities that I took on to manage things, that came naturally to me. Wow. So you're saying I'm a natural leader. Or then you're saying I'm great at judging people because I'm empathetic. You see, I have the power of empathy. I can get into people's heads and understand where they're coming from. And that helps me manage them really well. For example, when we had this particular, issue, and this was the conflict, I knew that the conflict is happening because of clash of egos. I understood that because I could read the people out there. And then I could manage them really well. I had to stoke their egos initially and then get them to see, try and understand what the other person was saying. Long and short, what am I trying to say? State your strengths, but back it up with evidence as to why those are strengths that you possess, because your believability therefore goes sky high. Again, a caveat: do not lie. Do your own self-analysis. Get your answer to this question and come across as somebody who is self-aware, who manages himself really well, who balances confidence with humility. You see, the weakness part is your admittance, and that's being humble. The strength part is the reflection of your confidence. Balance the two together, and you will ace this question.
This is so amazing. This is so amazing. Thank you so much for your time, boys and girls. Say a big thank you to the amazing person with us. Sir, I'm going to get a call with you, and when I'm in Bangalore, I'm going to come and meet you. And they're all saying, I'm in love with this guy. This is so amazing. This is so amazing. Thanks for joining in, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, guys, and all the best, guys.
Thank you so
thanks,
much.
Rahul.
Keep
Cheers.
killing, sir. Bye-bye. Thank you. All right, boys and girls. Okay, भाई आगे बढ़ते हैं. So भाई first of all जब भी ऐसे लोग आए तो इनकी बातें सुन लीजिए करिए. They are amazing people. It's lovely hearing you. बिल्कुल. And sir spent his time traveling and working in the corporate also. So जो ऐसे लोग होते हैं, कुछ अच्छे काम कर चुके हैं ज़िंदगी में, कुछ ना कुछ बढ़िया सिखा के जाते हैं. और आज एक पर्सनल इंटरव्यू का पूरा सेशन हो गया तुम्हारे लिए, है ना? हो गया कि नहीं भाई? एक PI का सेशन हो गया और इट्स लाइक अ मिनी MBA ऑफ कोर्स. तो ये चीज़ नोट करिएगा, कभी ना कभी काम आ जाती है. और छोटे इंसान नहीं, बड़ा इंसान है. गेस्ट फैकल्टी ऑफ IIM बैंगलोर. इट्स अ बिग थिंग. मन मुग्ध हो गए. क्या बात है. गुड यार, गुड. सर हैज ओपन द माइंड टोटली. ग्रेट. तो मुझे जब ऐसे लोग मिलते हैं तो मैं तो यही काम करता हूँ, सर बच्चों को थोड़ा ज्ञान दे देना है, बाकी सब. थैंक यू सो मच जॉइनिंग इन बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स. होप द वीडियो वाज हेल्पफुल.